Hi guys, welcome to Club Today. On the agenda we have, in other news, STEM with Cam, and we're going to finish it off with some Minute to Win It games. It's going to be a super fun day, so thank you for showing up for Club Today.
Okay, you guys, for today I am going to teach you how to make some borax crystals. They look like pretty little geodes when you're done. And I'll show you a picture before we start so you can see what it is we're making, but I'm going to show you the different supplies that you're going to need to make this project. Since it's borax crystals, it might be a good idea to have some borax. And so you're going to need borax, you're going to need some food coloring, you're going to need some pipe cleaners. I have 3 purple ones here. And to make it look the best, you should use the same color of pipe cleaners as you do food coloring. So I'm going to be using the purple food coloring when I put it in my jar. And the next thing you'll need is a jar. A normal size jar will work just fine. For some reason I have this ginormous one, but any size of jar will work just fine for this. You'll need a pencil, and you'll need some twine or some fishing line or string of some sort to tie to the pencil so that you can hold your geode in the water. And so I'm going to give you just kind of a little preview of how this is going to happen before we actually jump into it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is shape my pipe cleaners to be in a specific shape that I would like for them to be in while I create this geode. And so when I was reading about this, something that it emphasized was to make like a tight structure out of your pipe cleaners. So you don't want it to be super loose, kind of like that. You want it to be kind of more compact and more tight so that the crystals can form around this much easier. I'm gonna use this last one. Okay, so this is the structure that I am going to use to create my geode out of. There's not a ton of holes in it, and there's a lot of surface area where crystals can kind of build off of that. So now something that we're going to do is we are going to cut some string that we can tie to our pipe cleaner, and we're going to tie the other end to our pencil so that when we put it in the jar, the pencil will sit on top and it will hold the pipe cleaner and keep it dangling so that it doesn't just like sink to the bottom. Okay, so after you tie your little pipe cleaner structure to your pencil, it should sit over the jar just like that. You don't want your pipe cleaner to be touching any part of the jar. You want it right in the center. And so I think this looks pretty good. Because it's right in the center, it will allow the crystals to grow outwards and not hit the sides of my jar. So I just wanted to measure it and make sure it was good before moving to the next step. So the next step is going to be putting some boiling hot water into your jar. Like I said, this can be boiling water, so if you need the help of a parent, please do so you do not burn yourselves. But depending on the size of your jar will kind of determine how much water it can hold. Since this is a big jar, I boiled 6 cups of water. But if you have a smaller jar, 1 cup or 2 cups might work just fine. And so what you're going to do is you're going to pour your boiling water into your jar, and then you are going to add borax to it. And so the proportion, or the ratio, I guess I should say, of borax to water is for every 1 cup of water, you need to put 4 tablespoons of borax into it. So since I boiled 6 cups of water, I'm going to be putting 24 tablespoons of borax into my mixture. Okay, so I poured my hot water into my jar and I poured all of the borax into it. And now I am going to stir it up until all of the borax is completely dissolved, so you don't have any like residual non-dissolved borax just like chilling at the bottom of your jar. You want to make sure it's completely mixed, so give it a good stir for about 1 to 2 minutes and check out your jar, and if it needs to be stirred more, keep stirring it, but just make sure that you have all of your borax dissolved before we move on to the next step. It is completely dissolved into my water. I'm going to add my dye. And like I said, I chose purple pipe cleaners, and so I'm going to use some purple dye, and I got this dark blue dye as well because I think that might look cool with it. And so once again, depending on how much water you put in will kind of determine how much food coloring you're going to need. So I'm going to start out with 5 drops of the purple, and all right. Something just dove into my mixture from my food coloring. It's the little cap part. All right, let's try this again. I'm gonna do 3 of the blue food coloring, and now I'm gonna give it a good mix. See how it looks. It's looking like a light purple, and I think I want it to be darker. So I'm gonna squirt in just a little bit more of my purple and give it another stir. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Now we are ready to move on to the next step. The next step that we are going to take is we are finally going to submerge our pipe cleaner into the borax and water mixture. As you can see, my water is like so dark that you can't even see the pipe cleaners in there. And you want to make sure that the pipe cleaner is completely covered by, oh, there it is. You want to make sure it's completely submerged under your hot water and borax mixture. So now we play the waiting game. We are going to let this sit for 24 hours. And so I'm going to come back to this tomorrow and see the progress of how these crystals have come along. And if I want the crystals to grow even bigger, I'm gonna leave it submerged in this mixture. Or if I think it looks really good, I will pull it out and snip it off of my string, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. But one last thing that I am gonna do is I wanna kind of create a covering to put on top of this to kind of trap the hot air in there for as long as I can. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to get some tin foil and then just kind of wrap it over the top of my jar, and so that nothing can kind of float in and the heat will stay in there hopefully as long as possible. But with this activity, make sure that you leave it submerged and you don't keep pulling it out like every hour to just like check on it to see if the crystals are growing, because that could prevent them from growing. So once you have it in like this, leave it be for 24 hours, cover it up, and then we'll check on this tomorrow. I'm excited to see if I get a nice crystal out of this. Okay, so this is kind of the setup that I have going on. I wrapped it a couple times in some aluminum foil to create a nice covering for it. One last thing that I wanted to say was if you spilled any borax, you got any on your hands, you're gonna wanna wash that off. Borax is a detergent booster, and so you do not want that to just be chilling on your hands or on the counter. We need to make sure we clean up after ourselves. So go wash your hands, clean off your counter space, because I even spilled some borax here, so I'm gonna clean that up right now. But that was the last thing I wanted to say, and I'm excited to see how my crystal turns out. Okay, you guys, it's been 24 hours, so I am gonna open up this aluminum foil. Let's take a look at this geode that we got. All right, the big reveal. Ah, looky here. I've got a crystal, guys. Look how pretty that is. Let's look a little closer. So yeah, this worked out really well, and now I'm just gonna cut the string off so you can't see a string, and I'm gonna have my own little beautiful purple crystal geode. So if you guys make this at home, send me a picture of what your geode looks like and send it to royteen@bgcweaverdavis.org. All right, bye guys.
So something I decided to do was to make a few more geodes to show you guys a different variety of what they could look like. As you can see, I have those two purple ones here, and then I also made a pinkish red one. Just to show you guys the variety of how different they all can look. And as long as you follow the steps that I showed you, they're all going to turn out super cool. And once again, if you guys decide to make these, I would love to see how your geodes look. So you can send them to royteen@bgcweaverdavis.org. Okay, now get ready for a super fun STEM activity with Cam.
Okay guys, so welcome to STEM. So today we're just going to be making a little speaker out of cardboard and cups. But before we start, I just want to let you guys know that if you send a picture of yourself making this or like the finished product, please send your picture of this to Boys and Girls Club at bgcweaverdavis.org, and that will enter you in for a prize. So what we're going to need for this, all we need are 2 cups. You can also use 4 if you want to make 2. Like if your phone has speakers on the top and the bottom, you can also use 2 of these, kind of make 2 on the top and bottom, just to amplify the sound even more. Sharpie, and then a hobby knife, or a pair of scissors works just fine for this as well. So how we're going to do this is we're going to take our hobby knife or scissors, we're going to get those ready. Okay, and so then we're going to grab our marker, and all we're going to do is we're going to be tracing an outline of our phone onto the cardboard. So it doesn't have to be perfect, just kind of rough. Just get the general shape down. Okay, so we have our outline in, like so. Then we're going to take our hobby knife or a pair of scissors, and we're just going to carefully cut this out. Okay, so we got our hole punched out, and we're gonna test it, make sure our phone sits in it, and boom, look at that. So our phone now fits in to the little hole we cut out. So now what we're gonna do is take your marker and your cup, and we're gonna stick the 2 together like so, and then we're just gonna make a rough outline so that we can cut a hole into the side insert this in. So I'm gonna just put this up, putting it up to my stomach right here, and then just pushing it in. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just get a rough outline, like so. Then we're just gonna carefully cut this out. So this is where I would recommend having a hobby knife, but it does work with scissors. I just find it easier to use a knife with. Just make sure you're super careful. Okay, so we have our hole cut out. Next we're just gonna test it. There we go, fits pretty well. So we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so I got my hole cut out in the other side. So we're just gonna see if this fits. Okay, there we go. So let's make sure that everything is turned the right way. Okay, so there it is, like so. We're gonna get our phone, stick it in, and boom, you have some DIY homemade cup speakers. So make sure you guys, if you do this, send a picture of yourself doing it, or send a picture of the finished product into royteen@bgcweberdavis.org. Again, that's royteen@bgcweberdavis.org. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.
And finally, get ready to send in your challenges because it's Minute to Win It time.
Hey teens, I'm Denise.
And I'm Bonnie.
So today we're going to do another minute to win it, or as we like to call it, hour to win it. So what we're going to be doing today is going to be an inventor scavenger hunt. And what this is that you're going to look around your house for different things, like something that is metal, something that you can twist, something that is slimy. So you gotta put your inventor hats on to see what where these are at your house. So each one is worth 50 points. You're gonna post pictures of each one. If you are done before the hour, then you add another 100 points for a total of 600 points. So remember to post your send your pictures to royteen@bgcweberdavis.org to enter into one of our weekly raffles. So remember, you have to have pictures of everything. So there is 12. There's 12 different ones. So one fun one that you're going to see on here is find something that you can put together. So we hope you have fun, and post your pictures with your name. Send them to, like we said, bgcweberdavis.org, and good luck.
Have fun.
All right, that's club for today. Thanks for showing up and participating. Hope you guys had fun, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, and one more thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about were the new prizes that we just got in for our daily challenges on virtual programming. As you guys know, if you've been participating up until this point, you know that every single day during virtual programming, you have at least one opportunity. On some days, there's 2 different opportunities to win a prize by doing a challenge, meaning that you send in a picture of a project that you did, or you send in a poem that you wrote about whatever the challenge is, or maybe you send in a video. What you have to watch the virtual programming to know how to compete in the challenges, but they're all very doable and anyone can participate in them. So that was what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Even if you are not a current Boys and Girls Club member, so maybe you haven't been to club in a couple years because you've been super busy at school, or maybe you're enrolled in club but you haven't been participating because you've been busy doing schoolwork, or whatever the reason is we want to make sure that you guys know that this opportunity to win these prizes and do these challenges is available to any teen in the community. And so even if you guys have a friend where they haven't been coming to club, but you're like, you know what, I think they might enjoy doing this, tell them about it. Send them on over, because any teen in the community can win a prize or many prizes doing our virtual programming. And so we're hoping to see many more of your faces come up when we are looking at the challenges, because we miss you guys so much and we want to be interacting with as many of you guys as possible. So if you have not already followed our Instagram account at Roy_Teen Club, give it a follow. You can check out the prizes that we have and kind of interact with us that way. And then to compete in the challenges, all you have to do is follow the instructions and send your challenge project, whether it's a picture, video, poem, writing, anything, to royteen@bgcweberdavis.org. We hope to see many more of your beautiful faces.